Simple game. 4 players.
Hey, I'm Danny Boyd, and this is CinemaStix, a celebration of film and film form.
Good morning, Mr. Phelps.
There's always been something to me about the original Mission Impossible from 1996 that's felt different.
He is also a traitor.
I don't just mean different from the rest of the franchise, which has been helmed by 5 different directors across 7 films. So yeah, of course.
Good evening, Mr. Hunt.
And I don't just mean different from the show, with which the films share little more than a name, a theme song, and a line of dialogue.
The mission, should you decide to accept it.
Different, rather, from anything I expect going into an American action movie generally. Maybe it's the fact that Brian De Palma directed it, years after Blowout and Scarface.
I give you $400,000 more.
That half its story credit goes to Steven Zaillian, who wrote Schindler's List, or that half its script was penned by Robert Towne, who wrote Chinatown.
Hello, Miss Sessions. I don't believe we've had the pleasure.
That it was scored by Danny Elfman, or that despite a first foray into practical action set pieces, not a single bullet in Mission Impossible is fired by our lead, and virtually none by anyone else.
0 body count.
No shootouts, no fistfights. All of that, no doubt, plays a part. But more than anything else, what's always kept me coming back to this movie is the way it looks, how it's lit, the way it's shot. In other words, the deft hand of cinematographer and longtime De Palma collaborator, Stephen Burum. All the signature De Palma Burum techniques are on show here. Long shots, extensive POVs, split screens, thematic color, Dutch angles. Basically, if Hitchcock used it, De Palma co-opted it. Makes sense, all the tension in Mission Impossible is built around moments of calculated, escalating suspense. Stripped down, it's essentially a murder mystery disguising itself as a high-action franchise film. But what's fascinating is how drastically the atmosphere of the film shifts at key intervals throughout the movie. Fundamentally distinct and deliberate tonal changes that not only reflect a move in locale, Prague, Langley, London, but with them a change in Burum's approach to lighting and color. 3 different styles Burum refers to as Old Europe, America, and New Europe. The Prague segment is the most subdued, and to me by far the most stunning, designed to evoke an atmosphere of old European spy master stories, slinking around, very covert. Outside of a few bookending sequences, the best bits of Prague were shot outdoors and at night. In combination with the use of anamorphic lenses, it all meant Burum required huge amounts of light to set up his shots, light that didn't exist. He, his gaffer Laurie Shane, and their team spent 3 days bathing 2 miles of riverfront around the Charles Bridge in hundreds of soft lights to get a look of something mysterious, at times verging on nightmarish, a bodily disconnect, and a graspless sensation of dread. As the team's mission disintegrates, and each agent is picked off one by an unseen assailant. In the dense fog, characters wore dark coats for Burum to keep a black reference, coloring and ambiance inspired by Owen Roizman's work on The Exorcist. Suspense through the unknown and what can't be seen, or what's seen but can't be confronted. It's a mood that well serves the lead-in to the central set piece of the segment, your classic spy-on-spy antagony over drinks at some chic restaurant, each character with information the other wants, every close-up a Dutch angle, exemplifying the growing tension between Hunt and Kittredge, and to boot, a literal bomb under the table that would make Hitchcock grin. A ticking clock. And then that's 16 tons of water and shattered glass, by the way, but true to form, that's crews doing it, making sure it looks real. The Prague segment finishes back at base, Hunt moving from adrenaline, instinct, and shock into a hallucinatory, almost fever dream-like state, a 3 a.m. ephemerality, as he reels from the night's events and tries to make sense of what little information he has. As his mind imagines John Voight's wounded character crashing into the room, Burum reintroduces canted angles, cueing us in that things aren't all what they seem. Then, when it's revealed that it's really Claire, we regain stability, and the two work into the morning to devise a plan.